Hey everyone, let's make an old-timey chocolate icing recipe. Now let's get the ingredients together. It's only 5 ingredients that we have to get. So it's vanilla, teaspoon of vanilla we need, 1 stick of butter, 2 cups of sugar, a half a cup of cocoa, 3/4 cups of milk, and here we go. We got it together, fixing to start cooking. Now at first we need one of those big pots with a heavy bottom to it so it won't scorch the icing. We add our dry ingredients first, the cocoa and the sugar. And then we're going to stir it up to blend that ingredients together before we put it over the hot stovetop eye. So we're going to stir that with a whisk. You see how the colors blended together, making it chocolatey looking? And that pan used to be a pressure cooker, an old-time pressure cooker. Them old pans, they last forever, don't they? So now we got that stirred up and incorporated. We need to add our milk and our butter. Now you make it easier, you can cut your butter up in slices to make it melt faster, but I just put it in the whole thing in there, and I'm just going to chomp it with the blender. No, I mean the whisker there. Okay, now this you want to, once it starts melting, you need to stir it vigorously and constantly. This simple ingredients, but there's a technique that you need to do during this. So stay tuned to the very end because you don't want to miss any tips here. Okay, now you stir it continually. See how smooth it got there? Our last ingredient, after it gets smooth, you add your vanilla. And now here's where you keep on stirring. Now if you get tired, use your left hand. So you want to stir it until it's boiling like that. And then you want to cook it for 4 additional minutes after it starts boiling. You see that right there? That's what you call a rolling boil. And now we want to cook continuously for 4 minutes after that. So like I said, if your arms get tired, switch hands. Pretend like it's a workout. You're burning calories so you can eat that cake. So look at that chocolate. I wish they had those smell views through the video cameras. You can smell that chocolate. So yes, here we go. It's boiling heavier now. And we're cooking for 4 minutes. Wow, on that. Now this is an old vintage recipe that I got from my mother-in-law. Me and my daughter was at her house, and this is where she was helping teach us our techniques on how to make the frosting. Because believe me, you have to learn how to do each step just right for it to turn out right in the end. At the end of this video, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Now this is a very finicky recipe. If you don't cook it long enough, it won't turn out right. And if you cook it too long, it won't turn out right. The sweet spot is the soft ball stage. Now here we are taking the cake and putting holes in it with a butter knife. Right here, because we're going to put holes in it because we're going to put a thin layer of frosting over it so it can seep through the cake. It's still warm cake, and the cake actually could be hot. You just take it out of the oven if you want to, if you're timing it just right. But this is still a warm cake. We're going to put a thin layer of the frosting, only a thin layer, and then the rest of the frosting we're going to put in a bowl and mix it in the mixer. So this is where we're all working together here, and she's spreading it thinly across there. We don't want to miss any drop of this frosting. That's where she's scraping the spoon. Now here we go with the bowl. Now we got to work fast. Now this one, when the temperature changes, so does the frosting, icing. So we got to work fast. And this is where work too long because we're still trying to learn from Linda. This because it's a very finicky recipe. So we're just over here, but I'll show you. Just wait, because there's another way. She gave us a tip on how to fix this part right here. Now, we're whisking away, trying to get air into the icing to make it fluffy. We're trying to make it fluffier. And like I said, me and my daughter's new to this frosting. We've made it before, but you have to do it just right. And that's the reason we're getting tips from Linda. See right here where we're mixing it and it's getting colder and colder? When it gets too cold, it's going to be where you can't spread it anymore. That's the reason it's very finicky and have to work fast. And at this stage is where you can see it turned a lighter chocolate color. That's because we mixed it too long, let it get cold. But hey, we learn. We're learning. See, overmixed it there. It's because it got really too cold. So this is where Linda gave us a really good tip. Now, if it gets this thick, and see, you can barely see scraping of the bowl, and it's really, really thick. See that? Thick, thick, thick. Now, this is where the tip comes in. Linda pours a little bit of milk to try to fix it. So add that milk, and look. See the transformation? It fixed it. See there? See how shiny it's getting again? Okay. And we're mixing that up just nice and smooth. She's scraping the bowls there. And then we're fixing to spread it over the cake really fast before it changes color again. Because this cake right here, once it cools on top of the cake, the top of the layer gets like a little hardening a little bit on top. And then when you cut it, you see it crackling when you cut it. But then when you take a bite of it, it just melts in your mouth. Everybody loves this cake frosting. And believe me, you don't want to waste a drop of this chocolate goodness. See how smoothly it's going around? See, now you just want to spread it across the cake. And then after we do this, you have to let it cool before you cut it. And then you'll be able to see the hardening on top of the layer, on top of the cake from the frosting. Now, if you like this recipe, please like and subscribe. And if you know of any vintage recipes you want me to try, then just leave the name in the comment and I will be sure to see if I can find that vintage recipe. Now, coming up is a picture of a close-up of the piece of cake with the frosting getting hard on top. Just wait, here it is. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, it melts in your mouth as soon as you take a bite of it. You got to try this.